What's up everyone, Takedown here. Welcome back to another Flipping for Profit video. Now it's been some time since I've went over some recent sales, and for the past 6 to 8 weeks we've had just under $1,200 in sales for different video games, consoles, handhelds, comic books, and a whole bunch more. So I wanted to share that in another video because you guys seem to love these. So let's get straight into it with these big sales. Up first, we had purchased 3 Nintendo Game Boy Advance SPs. I got a blue, a silver, and a red, and I paid $60 each for these. Now, if you're looking around in yard sales and different stuff in your area, Facebook Marketplace, etc., and you see them between $60 to $80, and they're in good condition, there's no scratches, they work, they have the charger, you can sell those, at least in my area, for $125 each, and that's what I did. So I paid $60 each for these, that's $180. I sold them for $125 each, that's $375. So in total profit for these 3 Game Boy Advance SPs are $195 profit, which is a great start to this video, but that was amazing. If you ever get ones that are scratched up, as long as they still work and you get them for a really cheap price, you can get a shell for it and change it yourself, which I've made a video on, and the shell is between $20 to $30. So take that into account as your total of what you're spending. I obviously wouldn't pay $60 to $80 for it if I need to reshell it, but you can make money off of it if you can get it a little bit cheaper. So there is that. Next, we had a Nintendo 3DS. This was just one of the first generation 3DSs that came out. This I paid $90 for, and I sold it for $150, which is around what you can sell them for in my area, and that is $60 profit. I always look for them. I know I can get between $125 to $150. This one was in great shape, so I did get the $150. And if it's one of the new 3DS ones, they are worth a little bit more, but you have to be leery because a lot more people, instead of the solid colors, they want special editions, which are worth a lot more, but to find them, you're paying a lot more, so keep that in mind as well. Next, I was at the thrift store, and sometimes they know what they're doing, sometimes you can get really great deals, sometimes they don't. This was a case that worked out for me. So it was a large bag of Lego, a 12-pound bag of miscellaneous stuff. There was a ton of figures, police, firefighters stuff, a whole bunch of different Lego sets combined. The 12-pound bag, I paid $5 for. I sold it for $65. That's $60 profits from the thrift store, and it definitely helps checking out stuff at the thrift store. Next was a blue PlayStation 3 Super Slim with 10 games. Now, I don't think I've ever owned a PlayStation 3 Super Slim. That's the one with the sliding tops. This here, I paid $50 for it. Sold it for $150, just a quick flip. There was no known or like bigger games because I would have sold them separately on eBay, but for those ones there, $100 profit, that was still pretty good. And because it was a blue one and not one of the normal, the solid black or even the whites, that's why it sold for a little bit more, at least in my opinion. Just I don't sell them too often, and people were actually really interested in the blue one. So $100 profit on that. We had an Xbox 360 Halo Edition with the Halo controller. Now, I purchased this back in the day, and this is the second one that I've sold. This one I paid $40 for. It's dropping a little bit in value, and I did sell it for $85, so we did get $45 profit. Now, I thought I was going to get a lot more out of this, but I'm glad I got a great deal. I only paid $45 for it, and it did come with the custom controller, or the Halo controller, so that was a great addition as well. Next is a PlayStation 3 Slim with the box and accessories. I think this one was the 160 gigabyte model, but because it came everything in the box, I was able to sell it for $100. I only paid $40 for it, so I did get $60 profits, but the PlayStation 3s I find are going down in value. During COVID, I was selling them between $100 to $200 for it. Now, $100 was the console as is, with the controller, no games, no accessories, no nothing. But with the box, with all the accessories, with a few games, I'm now just selling those as $100, where I was selling them for $200 during COVID. So the markets went down a little bit, but you can still make money if you find them for a cheap enough price. Next is 25 X-Men comics. I paid $1 each for them. Usually I pay around 50 cents to $1. I prefer paying 50 cents depending on if I know what's going to be included. But I paid $1 each. So that's a total of $25 for these comics. I sold them for $3 each. That's $75. That's $50 profits. I find X-Men and Spider-Man are the ones that you can actually sell between $2 to $3 each. The other ones, if it's other titles, they're a little bit less, but I always keep that into account. So whenever I see them, I do try to pick them up. Next is a Winnie the Pooh teddy bear plush. This thing I think was 16 inches high. I only paid $2 at a yard sale for it. I've had it for a year and a half. I ended up selling it for $10. I thought I'd get a lot more for it because it is vintage. It's, I think, 2001. But I did get $8 profit for it, so at least I got something. Next is more comics, 50 Spider-Man comics. I paid $1 each for these, that's $50. I sold these ones actually for $5 each. There's some really great titles and really great crossover ones. So I did pay $5 or sell them for $5 each. That's $250. That's $200 profit on these comics alone, which is why I always look for Spider-Man comics. People love collecting them. I love collecting them myself, but people always go for Spider-Man, so definitely one that's worth checking out if you can get them cheap enough, because some people sell them in yard sales and booths for what they're worth or a little bit more because they know the hype. Next is a PlayStation 3 game lot. 30 games, I basically paid $1 each. That's $30 for the whole lot is what I paid. I sold them for $2 each because I thought there was going to be some bigger titles in there. There wasn't, so I sold them for $60. That's $30 profit. I doubled my money. I thought there was some hidden gems that I could flip individually on eBay. That didn't happen. It happens, unfortunately, but at least I doubled my money and made something off of it. Even if I broke even, it would be a learning experience. But we did make some money here. Next is a Nintendo Switch Lite. I paid $100 for this. It was in great condition. It included some of the thumb grips and a couple other accessories, just small stuff. I did sell it for $165. In my area now, they're only around $125, so I'm glad I sold it when I did. That's $65 profit in my pocket. Next is a Game Boy Advance. This one was very beaten up. It was almost destroyed. I paid almost next to nothing for it. I paid $45 for it. It worked great. It actually was backlit, which I didn't realize until after I listed and sold it, but I already agreed to the price to sell it at. I did need to reshell it. Now, if you need to reshell these, the Game Boy Advance is one of the easiest ones to reshell. Way easier than the Game Boy Advance SP, because that one you need to keep the hinges. This one here is just a matter of unhooking it and tossing everything into the new shell. Really easy to do. The shells are between $20 to $30 depending on the model. This one here, I think I went with the blue one. And this one here, I sold it for $125. So I did profit $60 after paying $45 for it plus the $20. We still got $60 profit out of it, which was great. I found a lot of people, even if they're marked up and slightly damaged for the shell, they're still selling them around $100. I can't make money buying it for $100, then reshelling it, and then trying to flip it. I just can't make money off of that. But this case, I could. Next is a small box of comics. I didn't really look through it because there wasn't any known titles. It was a mix of Image, Dark Horse, a few Marvel and DC, but no big names. Bigger comics I would have probably listed if they're over $25 each in value. I'd list those individually on eBay. There's nothing really big in this box. I paid $40 for the box. I did sell the box for $150 because that's what usually small boxes are in the area, and I did profit $110. They were all bagged and boarded, which is great. They were in great condition. There were just no big names in it, but at least I did make some money off of it. There was about 50 to 65 comics in this box. So roughly, let's say almost $2 to $3 each. A little bit less maybe, but that's still some great profit for us. And the last is a PlayStation 2 game lot that I found. This was only 25 games, so not a big lot, but it included titles like Grand Theft Auto San Andreas with the map included, Grand Theft Auto 3, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Sopranos, a Tony Hawk game that I remember playing as a kid. And basically I wanted this just for the simple fact of I wanted to grow my PlayStation 2 collection. So I knew what these would be worth. And Sopranos isn't for myself. That was one to resell. That's why I wanted to list it. But there's going to be about 5 games that I could list on eBay that were over $25 each. or around that, so I knew I could sell those on eBay. I could bundle the other ones together and sell those, and then keep some for myself and still make profit. So I paid $45 for these 25 games. I did keep 10 for my collection. I kept GTA 3, Vice City, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, that Tony Hawk game, and just a couple other ones that were lower value, but I wanted to add to my collection, so I kept those. So I got to keep 10 games. I sold 5 on eBay in total for $125, so that equals out to be about $25 each. That's after fees. And then I sold the other 10 for just $20, $2 each. They're just cheap games, just some sports games, stuff like that. Sports, war, different things like that, but not worth too much. So I did sell them for $2 each. Total profit was $100. Plus, I got to keep 10 games for my personal collection, and that's a great way to start collecting. Buying these lots, flipping them, keeping some for yourself, but still being able to make money off of it, and then basically you got those games for free, and you know the value of them. Like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I know is around a $20 to $25 game on eBay. I remember playing that as a kid. I wanted it back in my collection, and I got it, and I didn't pay anything for it. In fact, off of this lot, I did make money. So it's nice collecting like that. That's how I got all of my comics. I got all of my video games, or at least most of them, and I just fill in the gaps with ones that I need whenever I do find them. But hope you guys enjoyed this flipping for profit video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Please take care. Peace.